Well, we are now less than 8 hours from polls opening tomorrow for the primary election. We have several key races we're following, but the big story will be the different protocols in place to keep voters safe in the midst of a pandemic.
So a record number of people will be voting absentee. We know that. The polls, though, will be open for anyone wanting to vote in person. Victor Williams live tonight with what voters should expect if they are heading out tomorrow to cast their ballots that way. Victor?
Yeah, Devin and Kimberly, tomorrow is supposed to be one of the busiest days when it comes down to counting up those absentee votes. But on top of that, it's going to be an election like nothing we've ever seen before, obviously all because of the pandemic.
We expect to count between 70 and 75,000 absentee ballots. That's a lot for us, especially for a state primary.
Detroit City Clerk Janice Winfrey says Tuesday will be a huge day for voters here in the state of Michigan, tallying up those mail-in absentee ballots. However, in the era of COVID-19, the Elections Board is trying to make things easier on those who still want to cast their ballot the old-fashioned way.
We have the sanitation stations at every precinct, the wipes, the disinfectant for the hands, gloves, masks that we give away. All that's available to the public.
And those safety precautions aren't just in place for those casting a vote, but those people on staff as well.
We have masks and shields that they'll be required to wear, and there will be social distancing as well.
Tuesday, all 200 plus precincts will be open and available to voters. This year, in the interest of safety, voters will be able to make the choice without even leaving their cars.
If an individual pulls up to the precinct and say, I want to vote today, but I don't want to go inside, so we meet them at the curb and we process their ballot right there.
All this to make sure your voices are heard, so really there's no excuse.
We want to ensure that every vote is cast and processed on Election Day.
Now, that drive-in voting method is only going to be available if you've already registered to a certain precinct, and there are only a limited amount of them right now. But the good news is that if this is successful with that drive-in voting method, they're going to go ahead and implement that all over. And this is not the only place that's doing the whole sanitization thing, by the way. You can expect that in other cities like Troy. Reporting live tonight, Victor Williams, Local 4.
All right, Victor. So a lot for us to watch, but let's look at just some of the big races we'll be following. In Oakland County, a very heated primary for county executive. In the Thumb, crowded GOP primary race for the House seat that's being vacated by Paul Mitchell. And in Wayne County, Rashida Tlaib facing a primary challenge from Detroit City Council President Brenda Jones. So again, polls will be open 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. A full breakdown coming on clickondetroit.com. Now tomorrow at 6 a.m., Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson will join us live to talk about this unprecedented nature of tomorrow's election and what she wants voters to know, not only heading into tomorrow, but heading into November's general election.